What's going on, guys? Isaiah here from Goop Gaming, and I have Logan here with me, and today we're going to be going over Prank Kid Brave Fusion Destiny deck. Alright, so first off, Prank Kid lineup, it's kind of standard, 3 Dropsies, 3 Fansies, 3 Lampsies, 2 Roxies. A lot of people play 3 Roxies. I can see playing 3 Roxies. I've been playing 3 Roxies for a while, but it's not really needed. You just want to open, before you just want to open 2 Pranks in your hand, just in case you got hand trapped and everything. But with the Braven, you don't really have to. As long as you just see 1, you have a very high chance of seeing 1 when you're playing this many numbers anyway. So
I also think it's important that not playing polymerization and playing only 2 of the Pandemonium. You're really not really trying to draw multiple prank kids in your opening hand, and that you wanna draw 1, maybe 2, but no more than 2 ever.
yeah, you don't ever want to see more than 2 in your hand. Seeing 2 is fine, especially when you open cards like Pandemonium and you want to play through hand traps and you don't have the privilege. But I think going forward, this is going to be more of the standard than the 3 of everything. We do play the 1 pranks. You search this card, you dump this card and add this card. You don't really need more than 1 of this card. It's just a brick card if you open more than 1. 2 Pandemonium, you don't need 3. If you ever find yourself needing 3, you're probably playing your deck wrong. Card doesn't suck to open, but you're going to add it anyway. I don't see a reason to play 3, especially in this variant.
Like I said, like we were talking about, I think the reason people played 3 in the past was because you didn't have reliable ways to stop hand traps, so you needed to play through the hand traps. So the only way to play through multiple hand traps or just a hand trap a lot of the time is just the fusion spells. But you have more stuff to do now.
And we play 3 pranks. Some people are cutting this down to 2. I think this card is very good at 3, especially when you're going second and just open this card. It helps you block a lot of stuff with your chain blocks and everything. It also helps you get over big monsters, especially in certain decks like Sword Soul have a lot of big monsters, so if you do have to get over them, it helps out a lot.
I also think that the only one reason why I would cut this to 2 if you wanted to would be a lot of people are main decking Droll right now.
Yep.
And this card is obviously very weak to Droll.
You can play around Joel really easily in this deck though, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yes.
That's it for the prank engine. Going on now, we have the Brave engine, which in this deck is insane. You get so much advantage from this just being in your deck. If you open either Enchantress or Right, and you get to do your Griffin, on top of being able to chain block all of your cards, they have to have the perfect combination of hand trap cards if you're going first to stop you from just getting so much card advantage. It's unreal.
Yeah, the Brave engine is just insane. If you've watched any of our other videos, you know how we feel about this engine. We think it's the best thing since Zodiac when it comes to engines being able to be splashed into decks. The things that this deck abuses the being able to chain block the most out of any deck, and the Omni Negate benefits your deck probably the most because obviously this deck is very weak to Nibiru, and Griffin just fixes that. As well as it allows you to play, it really works well with our next engine in the deck because it just gives you 2 bodies if you already used Griffin just to make Predaplant.
And then going on, I'm actually playing the Fusion Destiny package, which I don't see a lot of people playing this in this deck, and I don't see why. The argument is it conflicts with Pandemonium, but if you're doing your main combo on your first turn, you're not using Pandemonium unless you have to, and at that point, you're probably not going to get this card anyway. But if you draw Fusion Destiny on top of your combo, you're ending on your main combo, so you're going to get your Butler on your opponent's turn. You're probably going to have a Griffin on the turn, and you're going to have a DPE. So that's so much card advantage, just so much interruption. It's just so strong.
Another thing I like about the Fusion Destiny package is there are going to be those games where you normal summon your Prank Kid, you link it away into Meow, and it gets ashed. You can't recycle Meow. So Fusion Destiny kind of gives you this added push to the deck that you kind of need if they stop your Meow, and it just allows you to stay in the game basically.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The argument is you don't have to have it, which you don't. But if, like he said, if your plays get stopped, your summons get stopped, you get ash on your kid. DEP just lets you stay in the game until you can get back into your motion. Another thing with Dasher is there's a lot of times when you don't have Meow and you have the normal summon of the kid, but you don't have a way to go into a Link 2. But if you draw the kid off Dasher, then you have the special of the Dasher, and you have a normal summon of a kid, so then you're back into your Links. It's just, this engine's really, really strong in the deck. I don't know. I don't see myself cutting it at all.
Yeah, especially like if your opponent is playing and they're like, oh, if I can just stop his kid effect, or like if I could just stop, if he doesn't have a fusion or access to a fusion, you know, like he's not going to be able to do a lot. Like Prank Kids has a really like low ceiling if you can stop their plays, right? Like they only have like their normal summon or their fusion, and that's basically it outside of their Brave package. But Fusion Destiny just kind of like increases the ceiling just a little bit, and let you play do a little bit more interruptions too.
Going on to our going second cards or our turn 2 cards. We have hand traps. We have Imperm, Lancia, and the Gamma package. Just really wanted to play high impact hand traps. Obviously, we have Drop It 2. Drop It's just a staple 3 of in every deck right now, I believe. Lancia is really good against most of, if not every deck in the meta, and it doesn't really hurt your deck at all. Maybe the Meow. Other than that, it's not really going to hurt you. Imperm really helps as your 6th card, so if you do end up going second, it helps a lot with just stopping the board if you don't have a drop one in your hand. And Gamma, I just feel like is the most impactful hand trap by itself. Like, it just does so much against most of meta.
Yeah, and like this is like the draw of playing like this would draw someone in to want to play a deck like Prank Kids, right? The fact that you can just cram so many going second cards into your main deck, and since you need like such little cards to actually play, you can just have the rest of your cards just to stop your opponent.
Yeah, because your whole deck is a 1-card engine. Like, if you can't play the Brave stuff, your deck's definitely going to be a little lackluster, but like, you can play so many hand traps and just open one kid and you have your combo as long as you don't get stopped. So that's why we have all the going second cards, because your whole deck is basically engine. Just like, if you want to play a lot of high impact hand traps or going second cards.
Yep, I agree. You just need to stop the scythe.
Going into the extra deck, it's more or less your basic Prank Kid stuff. I feel like 2 Butler is definitely needed. Some people play 1, but it just comes up so much, So a lot of people playing Call By right now. If your Butler gets Call By, it kind of hurts. You're playing 2 Butler, the 1 Rocket Ride, the 1 Weather Washer, the 1 Meow. I'm playing 1 Bow Wow and 3 Rooster, or 3 Doodle Doo and 1 Rooster. 2 Bow Wow comes up sometimes, but if you're having to push for 2 Bow Wow for a game, you're probably doing a line that doesn't need to be done. Like, you can probably win a different way and not have to waste so much resources to make it. You're probably winning the game anyway. 3 Doodle Doo, you gotta have it. It's just like your ad card. It recycles your stuff. There's no reason not to play 3 of this card. And I'm playing Roaring Rooster. I wasn't playing this card for a while, but with a lot of people playing trap decks or just back row decks or just cards that, like, a lot of people are just teching cards that go in their back row. This card's really good. Watch back row, and then you can just play your other engines. Or if you do it on the end phase of their turn with Weather Washer going into 2 links and to make this on your turn to just wipe their cards is really good.
I like that card a lot.
And then, not Prank Kid cards, we are playing the Link Spider. We're only playing this for the tokens to climb into like access code and everything. If you get nibbed, you can always use it, or sometimes you can use the adventure token and use it to go into access code, just to kill them. You kind of have to play it. We're playing Totally Awesome. This card, we're not playing Poly, so you don't get to do the turn 1 combos, but it does come up to where if you do your combos and you special monster on your opponent's turn and it's your turn, you can make a Toad really easily, and it just protects your turn 3 plays.
Yeah, just let you go for game, right? Like, yeah. You can make Totally Awesome, then go for the access code line, and your access code's just going to resolve because you have an Omni negate.
Yeah, Toad. And then we play the Anaconda. Obviously, we're playing DP, so it just helps you go into it. Like we were talking about earlier, if your regular Prank Kid lines get stopped, you can always go into Anaconda and make DP. I just feel like DP is so strong. I feel like if you're not playing this in your deck, you're probably playing a weaker deck than you should be, especially in this deck. Like, I think if you have not tried this in this deck, you really should.
Yeah, I definitely like the engine a lot. If we had 3 Meow, it could definitely be different. But the fact is, Meow is at 1. and you won't be able to recycle it every game, so you do need to have other options for those turns that you can't like just normal summon a kid and do your full combo.
All right, going into the side deck, we are playing 3 Droll. This is mainly for Virtual World. This deck has a really hard time with Virtual World, especially if they get a Shinshin on the board. It's also good against other Brave decks, but it's mainly for the Virtual World matchup.
Yeah, I agree. Virtual World is just historically a really hard matchup for this deck. And like you can hand trap Virtual World like 3 or 4 times, and they can still somehow end on trap Shinshin, and like that just beats this deck. Like if they end on that, so definitely having a card in your side deck for probably your worst matchup is definitely something I would do.
And then we're signing 3 Nib. I don't like this card, but it's needed against the Auroradon decks. It's just really hard to come back once an Auroradon deck has gone off. So you want to have something to keep that deck in check.
Yeah, like even if you open Droplet against those decks, a lot of the time, like you still have to like Droplet for 3 or 4 cards and then play through a blackout. That's a lot to deal with for a deck like Prank Kids.
And then Token Collector, I think it's, in my opinion, it's the best hand trap in the game in your side deck right now. So many decks are making tokens. It does, it can conflict with your Brave Engine in your deck, but I would rather have this card to conflict with my card than not have this card at all against decks that it just blows out. We have 2 Cosmic Cyclone and a Feather Duster. I was playing Twin Twister in this, but no one's siding Lancia for me, so there's no reason not to play Cosmic. The only card you really would want to discard off of Twin Twister would be the Water Enchantress. So Cosmic's just a better card in this deck, in my opinion. It just stops the traps that do stop you, or if you play against decks that Cosmic's just really good against. Feather Duster, obviously, when you play against back row decks. And then Evenly is good against a lot of decks like PK and stuff like that. Like the Brave Engine is really good at like stopping this, but it definitely should be in your deck. Like even if they do end up getting rid of this Brave, you're probably gonna have something else to play through their board.
It's also good in the mirror match, right? Like if you play against the PK or I said PK, but Prank Kids Brave deck, like, and you evenly match them, and they have a Brave token, they have to keep that token. They lose their entire board.
Yep.
Because they only put up the Griffin as the Omni Negate, and that's it. If you bait out the Griffin, you have them.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, if you evenly match a board that has a token on it, they don't have a way to stop it. They have to keep the token because you can't banish the token face down. So against any deck that keeps a token on the board, and you can bait out any negates they have, and you get to evenly match them, it's gonna blow them out. Alright guys, so that is the Brave Destiny Prank Kid deck. I think it is a very slept on deck, especially with the DPE engine in it. I think if you haven't tried it and you're a fan of the Prank Kids, I think you should definitely give it a try. I hope you guys like the video. Make sure you comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell. You guys have a wonderful day. Peace. Hey guys, thanks for watching our video. If you like what you saw, make sure you check out our most recent video here and our most recent vlog here. We appreciate your feedback. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. We hope you guys have a wonderful day.